The importance of hospital chaplaincy is to bring that support of a spiritual nature to the patients in the hospital. It's to also to help them in a time of crisis, or just to be that extra person in the room to visit with, to talk with, to take away loneliness, to be there when family can't be there. Sometimes hospital chaplaincy is even having a simple conversation as a means of diversion for the patient, to take away from the heaviness of the crisis or whatever it is that they're facing, to talk about something totally different, maybe a legacy or career or home life for them, just to give them that breathing space away from always focusing on crisis or the health issue that has them in the hospital. The challenges in hospital chaplaincy in the last couple of years have been unlike anything as a hospital chaplain I've ever experienced in all my years of chaplaincy. It was going into crisis mode myself, into a different type of intervention, one that I would say is more like putting out fires rather than feeling that you're having a really good, all-encompassing conversation. Putting out fires, I mean, you're going from patient to patient, almost like in this sense of emergency. And you're dealing with people who are lonely, people who are depressed, people who are withdrawing, mostly because they are so isolated, not just due to COVID, but because they don't have family either. Some of them going through very difficult situations and not able to have a family or support person. So I found myself going from patient to patient, from floor to floor, basically spending as much time as possible, which wasn't a whole lot because there's so many people that were in need, and being able to do as much as I could in the little time that I had in supporting them. The Bishop's Annual Appeal supports hospital chaplaincy in that it allows me to be in the hospital to support patients and also families as well. But another part of hospital chaplaincy is education and administration, but primarily education, in that a passion of mine is palliative care and teaching good end-of-life care in the face of the legalization of medical assistance in dying. Teaching people in the diocese that there is a better way, that there are other options as opposed to euthanasia. So I believe that we can help solve a greater problem of loneliness and isolation, not just in the hospitals, but in the communities with more people. We need boots on the ground, so to speak, people going into homes or phoning or FaceTiming to be that person, that support, that help, that friend, that good neighbor, to visit, to take away from or help people in their loneliness so that they might not look at options such as MAID at end of life. Another struggle in hospital chaplaincy, being a chaplain, is just dealing with my own personal suffering that comes with visiting and feeling helpless, feeling like you try so hard to meet the needs of patients and family members, being that connector between family who's on the outside of the hospital who can't come in, when you're in the room with their mom or dad and connecting, being that connected person through the phone or the social media, but also carrying that heart pain from patient to patient. And it's part of hospital chaplaincy in that you bear the suffering of others and you carry on, right? I guess in a way it kind of joins that suffering with Christ in that it's redemptive, and also it brings joy and healing to the person who bears the suffering. Going from patient to patient, visiting, you take that suffering and you pour it into the next patient, and it feels healing in a way for me, in that I pour that into the next person, and it brings just that joy of knowing that you're doing God's work.